I'm Tim, and I'm the founder of Innovation Visual. And yeah, thank you very much for coming to this event. Now, because there's some people who haven't been to these before, and there's some who have, just a bit of the background on this. So this is the second Leaders Learning that we've done, and it grew out of a thing which we called Leaders Lunches. So we've obviously liked the LL acronym. And this was about just getting 10, 12 marketing, revenue, business leaders in a room over a long lunch where we would discuss the issues of the day and how people were tackling them, share in a safe space, Chatham House rule and all of that stuff. And that was really great, and we've done that for a number of years. But one of the things that came out around the whole thing in terms of AI was that the discussions were sometimes stalling and saying, well, I really don't know about this stuff, and you know, I need some clarity coming around the table and things like that. So we did our first Leaders Learning back in May, and what we're aiming to do is to bring knowledge to all of you, and obviously then share the knowledge on your tables and things like that. But it's about helping you understand what's going on in what's a really rapidly moving sphere, I would say. So today we're going to focus on the AI agents and agentic AI, which is just a slither of AI. But there are some other things that we're going to be talking about. So we've got the agentic stuff, which Chris and Vanessa from the Innovation Visual team are going to be tackling. We're very happy to be welcoming Maxime back again from HubSpot. He is going to be going through, I think, the importance of unification of approach, which does tie into things like AI, because you need to make sure that you've got, hi, come on in. That's okay. Make sure that you've got a sort of centralized thought and system in order to be able to run any of these things coming out. We're also really happy to have Laura come all the way from Spain. Laura's come from Semanto, which is a German technology company, but she lives in Valencia. So welcome to Laura. She'll be doing one of the later talks. And in the essence of what Innovation Visual does, which is embrace change, we've changed the format. So those of you that came to the Leaders Lunch in May, we've tweaked the format a bit. So I'm going to walk you through now what we're going to do in terms of the agenda, which is really weird because now my eyesight is such that I can't read what I've got on the screen in front of me. So yeah, I'm going to just do the quick intro, which we've got here. Then we've got Chris talking about I think the differential and what really is AI agents and just understanding the basics. Then we've got Maxime coming in and doing the importance of the unified approach. Chris is going to bounce back up and take us through what's new at HubSpot and the Inbound conference. So many of you are aware that myself, Chris, and Javi all attended, in fact Maxime as well, attended HubSpot's flagship conference in San Francisco just a couple of weeks ago, and there's a lot of announcements. Was it 200 or 300 that they said that there was? So yeah, lots of stuff there. And then Vanessa's going to really get into the detail and the stuff where she brings to life, you know, what this concept of AI agents, what are they? Because understanding varies within the room, and she's going to be giving us some real life use cases, which by then you're going to be desperate for the coffee, and we'll have a 20-minute break, but I'm going to try calling you back a little bit early on that one, because this is one of the new bits. We're going to try round table discussions. So that's going to be about really just sort of helping people discuss and understand, having had all that information earlier in the morning, you know, how it might be applicable to you and your businesses and things like that, how you can make the difference. So that's really good. Then we're going to have Laura talking to us about the amazing Semanto technology, which is really bringing the human aspects to AI, which is a really big talking point in terms of the agents that they run. And then the next change of what we're doing, this could go horribly wrong depending on how hard your questions are, but we're going to do a Q&A. So we've got 4 stools down there, so 4 of us are going to sit there, and I'm expecting lots of great questions from all of you for us to answer. Preferably start off with some easy ones, that would be great. And to help you do that, there's a QR code on your tables where with your phones, and there is Wi-Fi here, and you have to just log in and give your email address and blah, blah, blah. But you can basically go to the landing page and you can submit your question on that. But we will also do the old school way of people putting their hand up because, you know, we are human after all, and we like that human interaction. So, all good on that? Good stuff. Right, now, Olivia said that because we've got the cameras here as well, and because there's a lot of people that haven't met Innovation Visual before, I need to actually introduce Innovation Visual, because Leaders Learning started off with just being clients in the room, and then people said, oh, can I invite such a person, and so it built from there. So there are people that don't know Innovation Visual, so a word on who we are. So we've grown out of being what I would call a performance digital marketing agency. Really good at things like SEO and PPC, conversion rate optimization. We would build websites, we would do all of that great stuff. The world is changing, and as I say, Innovation Visual is all about change. And we've evolved over time, and one of the things that we really think is about our USP, our secret sauce, is we really understand how to use technology to drive business results in the marketing and sales area. So we've gone more and more down that line. We've got a long-established partnership with HubSpot. We're very happy that we've just signed an agreement with Symantec to be distributing their software in the UK. And we work, over time, we've worked with lots and lots of different platforms, and technology's been really where it's at. And probably more than 2 years ago, we saw what was coming down the line with AI. Now, we'd all been using AI in the marketing space in things like PPC. The SEO results have algorithmic learning and machine learning within it. But obviously, the transformation with the generative AI and the fact that you could communicate with AI using natural language through the LLM models, we saw that coming down the line, and we thought, this is something that we think we can be really good at, and something which is going to be really important. So we've become more and more AI focused in terms of what we do for our clients. And I think we talk at the moment about AI separately in technology, but I think we'll just go back to being Innovation Visual. They're brilliant at bringing technology to bear in the sales and marketing space, because AI will just be technology, just like computers are technology, and we don't talk about computers in a differential way. So that's who we are, where we're going, and I think it's a really interesting place where we're going to. And so that's how I'm going to introduce this. And I think the challenges that leaders face at the moment is really quite significant. So showing off a bit now. I was just in Silicon Valley a few weeks ago. But you know, it was really interesting. So I spent some time there. I was really lucky to not only have gone to the HubSpot conference, but I was there beforehand. And just in terms of being around Silicon Valley and listening to people like Dario Emoji from Anthropic, Zach Cass, OpenAI, and the guy that brought ChatGPT, his team brought ChatGPT to market. Even like we had a sit down, Chris and I were lucky enough to sit down with Nicholas Holland, who's the VP of AI for HubSpot, and get some really good insights with him. And also, you know, the team from Bird Eye, a couple of guys from Bird Eye here. So sitting down with the Bird Eye team in Silicon Valley and just understanding where they're going. You know, they're doing a lot with AI within their tools. But the thing about Silicon Valley, it's where the future is. It's where the future is there today. And so this is a self-driving car. And this is normal. This is not some special like, oh, Tim got a trip. They're all over the place. This is the Waymo cars. And you really feel like the future is being born over there. and listening to these people and understanding what they're talking about. But there is a lot of change there, and the thing which struck me was talking about hybrid teams, and you'll hear the term hybrid teams, I think, during the course of the day. And what they're talking about is not whether you're working at home or working in the office, but it's actually having teams which fully integrate human employees and what they're thinking of AI or digital employees. And that is by far and away the direction of travel that it's going in. And that's, like, let's not even get into the whole socio-economic aspects of that, but that's vast in terms of where it's going. And I think that as marketing leaders, we sometimes look at this whole AI thing as like a massive mountain that we've got to climb, and it's like, it's moving so fast that actually it's not just a mountain to climb, but it's actually a really awful, quite scary mountain covered in cloud. You know, do I believe this? Do I not believe that? Where do I get my knowledge from in this area? And I think that that is something which is difficult for us to navigate, but you know, Innovation Visual, we see our role in there, because marketing leaders, I have a sense that they're competitive people. They like going fast, and those of you that know me know that I do like going fast. But I like going fast in control. I like going fast knowing that I can't control everything, but I can control lots of things. Now, I know some of you in the room have been on track days in cars. In fact, I know one of you in the room used to race cars, as well as actually we've got some people who worked on Top Gear here doing the filming. But in terms of, like, if you imagine, like, as a marketing leader, it's one thing, like the analogy of like being on the track and you go barreling into a corner at 100 miles an hour driving it, and you leave the braking till the last minute, and you turn the car in, and you're on the edge of traction, and it feels great. You're really going somewhere. You're really feeling great. That's great if you're driving, but you can see from the passenger, it's awful being the passenger, because you're barreling towards a corner at 100 mile an hour, and you think, we're never going to make that. We're never going to get round that corner. Oh my God, we're out of control. And I think that's a lot of the feeling, talking to people privately in the leadership space. They do feel a bit out of control when it comes to this AI space. And what we want to do is we want to put people back in control, because it is something that can be controllable. And it's this vast amount of knowledge that's out there, and it's the speed it's changing. Do I read this? Do I read that? Do I listen to that podcast? And there's so much there to know that it's hard sometimes to navigate there. So if you like, I see our job as distilling that knowledge down to individual clients, individual leaders, groups of teams, and actually helping them understand where the AI can help them, what they need to understand, what they need to learn in order to make it effective for them. Because there is a first mover advantage to be had. It's like in websites, there was a point where you could be a small business and you could actually get ahead of the big people and, you know, the big companies. That advantage has gone from that area, but there is an advantage to be had with embracing AI. So it's like, you know, helping you iterate, helping you deploy and scale what works. So these leaders learning sessions, this is all about actually giving you information and you know, and being part of that, being part of the conversation, if you like, the Innovation Visual family, and we're really happy to do that. But again, talking to leaders privately, they want more than that. So I'm happy to say that we're going to be running AI workshops for people as well. So these are going to be very much outcome focused, and it's to help you be able to speak confidently about AI's role in this sphere and evaluate the opportunities. So it's doing things in addition to what, when you work with Innovation Visual, you get from us, and know how AI will change the workplace, and it will be changing the workplace. So for those of you that are here, because you're part of the Innovation Visual family, we'll discount those workshops half price. This is something new to us, so I'd love to get your feedback as well on the concept. And I think Olivia has got some sheets in terms of a bit more detail if you do want to dive into that. But that's just something that we're doing, if you like, in a reaction to the requests that we've been coming through. So talk to me or any of the team about that kind of stuff if you want to. But what I would say about AI is that knowledge is power. That big library distilling the knowledge, that's really important. But it's only action that's going to get you the results. And it's really, really important that you start taking action now. Because, and I love this slide, I used it last time as well in May. The machines are coming, and publicly what they're saying, and this is the weird thing about Silicon Valley, right? This is what struck me about AI and its dominance. Because I was driving up and down Highway 101, which is the one that goes all the way from San Francisco down through San Jose and stuff. 75% of the billboards had reference to AI businesses. Like, they weren't all like no win, no fee lawyers, and they weren't just, advertising, get your car fixed and things like that. 75% of these billboards were AI. And one of them said, this thing of AI won't replace you, but someone using AI will. But honestly, talking to these people now privately, these AI leaders, they're like, oh no, people's jobs are going. Because that's why the billions are pouring in from private equity, because the total addressable market is trillions, because it's replacing wages. So as leaders, we need to get on the bandwagon, however uncomfortable it might make us feel, because this is coming down the line, and we need to make sure that our teams are the teams that are agile and are doing things and are actually going to be competitive going forward. So there's also talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence, and maybe we should wait until there's AGI, which is the human level AI. But interestingly, that Zach Cass, what he was saying was, well, honestly, the models at the moment, if they didn't develop the models any further, we're still not exploiting the models sufficiently. It's like electricity. We're not actually using them to the potential that we could use them. We're being limited still by the thought and what we could do with it. So don't wait until we go, oh, well, the technology needs to be a bit better, this needs to be a bit further on. The time is very much now. So I had this slide up again in May when we were talking about different aspects of AI. Nothing is certain except for change. And, it's a bit of an IV mantra. As I say, we love our change there. But I've added to it from my experience from Silicon Valley. AI is going to start doing the work for us. So we need to really get on that bandwagon. So that's what this morning's going to be about. Hopefully you've taken that on board as this is an opportunity for us, because we're in the room, we're educating ourselves. We shouldn't be scared, because the more we educate ourselves, the better we do. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Chris for understanding AI agents, even though it says Vanessa in my speaker notes, but it's definitely Chris. Isn't it, Chris? There we go.